Hey guys, Quest for the Holy Pauper here again. This is our deck list for Pauper Turbo Fog. It's actually pretty nice, pretty consistent. Um, really fun to pilot because it's intuitive in the sense where it has a different game plan than pretty much every other deck in Pauper. The goal is to stall long enough to mill out your opponent, which it does pretty well. And so we'll talk about the card choices here. We have, we play a Four of a Fog, just because, you can't beat one mana prevent all combat damage. Two of Respite, it's a little more expensive than Fog, but sometimes getting a life for each attacking creature is huge. Four of Tangle, because preventing all combat damage and tapping all those attacking creatures. At points in the game, it gives us basically a two-turn fog, which lets us use an entire turn to set up, which is really beneficial for our deck because our deck is really, really heavy on setup. Um, we are running a four of a brainstorm. The interesting thing is this deck is probably one of the few in Pauper that can actually make a lot of use out of brainstorm. First off, it's because it does give us three triggers off of her erasure, which is pretty amazing. And then it really lets us set up our draws. And since we already do play four Evolving Wilds, we do have the ability to cycle away what we don't want. We're playing a four of a Ponder, mostly because it's just another setup card. A lot of time we don't even shuffle our deck unless it's literally like three draws of land or something. We are playing our three of a Jace's Erasure. This is our win condition. 2 mana enchantment. Whenever we draw a card, target player puts the top card of his or library in their graveyard. Really nice, really nice. With all of our draw spells, we tend to really get there fast. Two of Arcane Denial main board. It's just a nice counter spell. Lets us deal in the main board before we board in stuff. Just with the general items we don't want to deal with, while also, reinforcing our plan. Because if someone gets Arcane Denialed and they're not familiar with Turbo Fog, they will draw the two cards, which in our eyes doesn't matter, mostly because it just gets us two cards closer to our end goal. Words of Wisdom, we draw two cards and they draw a card. Really nice, really strong. Um, I'm playing it in over Vision Schemes, simply because in situations where I'd rather just Words of Wisdom and I get most of the advantage, it's better for us. It's also better for us against decks that do run counters because then they don't draw two cards. It's also good against Burn because then they won't draw two cards, they'll only draw one, which letting them draw more fuel, especially when our deck already has a hard time beating them, is never a good thing. Two Compulsive Research lets us draw three, trigger Jace's Erasure three times, and then we just pitch a land card to it. Really good. Two of Muddled Mixture, it's mostly as a counter for sort of weird things that pop up here and there that will stop us, like other counter spells, burn spells, etc. And then it lets us. The more important use is it acts as another copy of Jace's Erasure, rather just a tutor for Jace's Erasure. Two of Holy Day, it's basically just another fog. It's really nice. I've been thinking of taking it to Respite for two more Holy Day, and then adjusting the mana base a bit. But that's a really ballsy move, especially when most of our fogs are green. We don't really want to go up more on white mana that we need. Four of Dawn Charm, it's really nice. Preventing all the combat damage is a fog effect. Regenerate target creature we'll never use because we don't play creatures, but counter target spell that targets you is also really good sometimes. It becomes very nice against burn. We can either stop their burn spell, or we can stop Curse of the Pierced Heart, which stopping Curse of the Pierced Heart sometimes is really good. Then we play 3 planes. Um, 3 planes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 islands, 6 forests, and then 4 evolving wilds. Pretty solid mana base. We don't have to worry too much about the planes because we'll typically get them with evolving wilds anyways. And we'll always have a fog that's green instead of one that's white. It's less likely. Sideboard, we have 2 Arcandinal, 2 Muddled Mixture, 4 Counterspell, really for matches where we need to be countering more stuff, like against Burn, we board them in, because against Burn we board out every single fog we have other than Dawn Charm, because they become useless, but Dawn Charm still acts as a way to defend against Keldon Marauder, and as a way to stop a burn spell, just as another counter spell that we don't need to keep blue up for, which is nice. Um, Also, the 2 Muddles will act as 2 more tutors for Jace's Erasure. You also board them in when we know they're going to board in removal for our enchantment. And then we have 3 Circle Protection Red. Helps us win the burn matchup, which is hard for us to win. 3 Quiet Disrepair. Um, 2 mana enchantment. You enchant an artifact or enchantment. Beginning of upkeep, we either get to destroy it or gain 2 life. Really good in matchups where we drop it early against, say, Affinity or another artifact based deck, and then we gain life slowly, 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 and then when we're ready to take out their permanent, we just destroy it. So, like, we can attach it to one of their lands, for example, like their Ancient Den, Ancient Furnace, etc. And then we have the One of Nerdish. It's mostly just as another board in against mono red. We don't really need that last slot for anything else. I was considering a One of Relic Progenitus because stopping Delver decks and other decks that use, Delve, like Garamag Angler and such, would be nice, but since Treasure Cruise is banned, it's not as necessary anymore. Um, One thing you will see in this list that's different from other lists is it does not run Moment's Peace. And the important thing about that is because, yeah, Moment's Peace is a very nice card. Being able to fog twice is very nice. However, with our list, it's very hard to fit them in. Mostly because with 3 colors, we get access to a lot of nice effects. And in the end, I would rather have Dawn Charm and Holy Day than any copies of Moment's Respite. Moment's Peace, excuse me. Anyways, that's the list, guys. I hope you enjoy all of the videos I'll be putting out. I am going to be playing a league, a series of league matches for Turbo Fog, which will be a bit different from Slivers, where Slivers I just queue up from 1v1s. So you'll be able to see in a sort of tournament setting how well Turbo Fog does go off. I will eventually do it for Slivers. I don't know how soon, mostly because Slivers already has plenty of videos. Um, I really want to be able to get other lesser known decks out there and in the view of the public. Anyways, thanks for watching this. Have a good day, guys.